Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract wealth while others struggle to make ends meet? The real difference isn't in their bank accounts, but in their minds. Let's talk about scarcity. Have you ever felt like there's just not enough to go around? Not enough money, not enough time, not enough opportunities? That's the scarcity mindset talking, and it keeps millions trapped in a cycle of lack. The wealthy, on the other hand, often operate from a place of abundance. They believe there's always more out there, more money to be made, more opportunities to be seized, more life to be lived. And you know what? They're right. Abundance isn't about what you have right now. It's about what you believe is possible. When you shift your thinking from "I can't" to "How can I?", you open yourself up to a world of possibility. It's like that saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Choose to see the abundance around you and watch how your reality begins to shift. Here's a fundamental difference. People with a scarcity mindset see money as something to be spent, to get them through the week, or to indulge in fleeting pleasures. They work for money, and then they spend it right back, staying stuck on that same financial treadmill. The wealthy, however, see money as a tool, a powerful resource to be invested. They invest in themselves, their education, their skills, their networks. They invest in assets that appreciate in value over time, like businesses, real estate, or stocks. This doesn't mean you have to be born rich to think this way. It's about shifting your perspective. Start small. Invest in a course to level up your skills. Invest in a good financial advisor. Invest in your own potential. Remember, true wealth isn't about how much you spend, but how much you keep, and how wisely you put it to work for you. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to blame others for our circumstances? The economy, our parents, our boss? It's always someone else's fault, right? That's the blame game, and it keeps us stuck in victimhood. Now, the wealthy understand that true power comes from taking responsibility. They own their choices, their mistakes, and even the things they can't control. Because when you take responsibility, you empower yourself to make a change. This doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything. It's about recognizing that no matter what happened in the past, you have the power to create a different future. It's about shifting from "why me" to "what can I learn from this?" and "what am I going to do about it?" That's where real change begins. Chapter 4, Instant Gratification versus Long-Term Vision, Playing the Long Game. We live in a world of instant gratification. Want it now? Click, buy, deliver. But this buy now, pay later mentality is a slippery slope to debt and dissatisfaction. The wealthy, however, understand the power of delayed gratification. They're willing to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term gains. They invest in their businesses, knowing it might be years before they see a significant return. They save diligently for retirement, even when there are tempting things to spend their money on today. This isn't about denying yourself joy. It's about having a vision for your future and making choices that align with that vision. It's about understanding that real success, financial and otherwise, is a marathon, not a sprint. Chapter 5, Job Mentality versus Ownership Mentality, Building Your Own Empire. Many people are trapped in a job mentality. They trade their time for money, living paycheck to paycheck, always dependent on someone else for their livelihood. The wealthy, on the other hand, often have an ownership mentality. They're not afraid to create their own opportunities, to build businesses, to invest in assets that generate passive income. They understand that true security comes from owning their own destiny. This doesn't mean you have to quit your job tomorrow and start a company. It's about shifting your mindset from employee to entrepreneur, even if you're still working for someone else. Look for ways to add value, to innovate, to create multiple streams of income. Start that side hustle you've been dreaming of. Invest in your financial education. The possibilities are endless when you start thinking like an owner. Chapter 6, Fear of Failure versus Learning from Failure. Turning setbacks into stepping stones. Fear of failure is a powerful force that keeps so many people stuck in their comfort zones. They're so afraid of making a mistake that they never even try. But here's the thing. Successful people fail all the time. The difference is, they don't let failure define them. They see it as feedback, as a necessary part of the learning process. Think of it like this. Every successful entrepreneur, every inventor, every artist, they've all faced countless setbacks on their journey. But they didn't give up. They learned from their mistakes, they pivoted, they got back up and tried again. Embrace failure as a teacher. Don't be afraid to take risks, to step outside your comfort zone, to try something new. Because the greatest lessons are often learned through our biggest challenges. Have you ever noticed how much time and energy people waste on gossip? Talking about other people's lives, tearing others down, focusing on the negative? It's a drain on your energy and a surefire way to stay stuck. The wealthy, on the other hand, are often engaged in conversations that matter. They talk about ideas, they brainstorm solutions, they share knowledge and support each other's growth. Your environment matters. The people you surround yourself with, the conversations you engage in, they all have a profound impact on your mindset and your results. Choose to elevate your conversations. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you to grow, who support your dreams. Because your network is your net worth, and your conversations are a reflection of your values. Chapter 8. Saving only versus scaling up. Why saving alone won't make you wealthy. Don't get me wrong, saving is important. It's essential for financial security. But here's the thing. You'll never get truly wealthy just by saving 10% of your paycheck. The wealthy understand the power of scaling. They don't just save money, they focus on increasing their income, building assets that generate passive income, and creating systems that work for them, even while they sleep. Think about it. If you're only relying on your time and energy to make money, you're limited by how many hours are in a day. But when you build assets that generate income without your direct involvement, that's when you start to create real wealth. Chapter 9. Comfort versus challenge, embracing discomfort as a catalyst for growth. Let's be honest, most of us crave comfort. We want things to be easy, predictable, safe. But here's the hard truth. Comfort rarely leads to growth. In fact, it often leads to stagnation. The wealthy, on the other hand, aren't afraid to get uncomfortable. They know that real growth happens outside of their comfort zones. They're willing to take risks, to embrace challenges, to push themselves beyond what they thought was possible. Think about it. A muscle only grows when it's challenged. The same is true for our minds, our skills, and our bank accounts. When we embrace discomfort, when we push ourselves beyond our limits, that's when we unlock our true potential. Chapter 10. Hope versus action, turning your dreams into reality. Hope is a beautiful thing. It gives us something to strive for, something to believe in. But hope without action is just a wish. The wealthy understand the power of taking action. They don't just hope for a better future, they create it. They set goals, they make plans, and they take consistent action, even when it's hard, even when they're afraid, even when they don't feel like it. Remember, you are not a tree rooted to one spot. You have the power to change your circumstances, to create the life you desire. But it all starts with taking that first step and then the next and the next. The journey to wealth begins in the mind. It's about shifting your thinking, embracing new beliefs, and taking consistent action. It's about understanding that you are worthy of abundance and that you have the power to create it. Remember, true wealth is not just about money. It's about living a life of purpose, passion, and impact. It's about having the freedom to pursue your dreams, to make a difference in the world, and to live life on your own terms. So tell me, which of these mindset shifts resonated with you the most? What action are you committed to taking today to unlock your own wealth potential? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's inspire each other on this journey to abundance. Your wealth begins in your mind. Shift your thinking, and your life will follow. Which mindset shift hit hardest for you? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe to Noble Ascend for more luxury level wisdom that actually changes lives.